7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, presented by TLR Coatings and Premier Custom Trailers. This is episode 152. We are wrapping up the Houston 2 show. Now, this show is going to be a little different than normal. Number one, we are doing this all as a call-in show. We are not in studio. Number two, we are just going to spitball this entire show. We're not going to have sections for this one. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what you guys like. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what you think of the new format, how you think we should do it. Do you think we should go back to the old way, et cetera, et cetera. As far as our sponsors go, TLR Coatings, Michigan's #1 custom powder coating shop in the state. So if you guys need custom powder coating, we do shipping, we do powder coating, we do Cerakoting, we do vapor blasting. We can do whatever you need. Like I said, we do shipping, so feel free to follow us on Instagram, get a hold of us, get a quote on getting your project done. I know there's a lot of you out there restoring bikes and cars and everything in between. Heck, even your daily driver, we can help you out with parts off of that. So look them up, tlrcoatings.com. Also, as I said, on board with us, new for this year, Premier Custom Trailers. Do you need a trailer? Commercial or recreation? Premier Custom Trailers has what you need. They work with the best manufacturers in the industry and specialize in all your trailer needs. Sales, service, parts, or rentals, they do it all. PremierCustomTrailers.com. Located 5 minutes south of Kalamazoo on US 131 in Schoolcraft, Michigan. They put the custom in customer service. Guys, I got through the read. How was that?
Sounded like a MyPillow commercial.
Bro, I thought it sounded great.
Like a wannabe weed.
I cannot wait to hear myself back on that because I felt like that went well. So,
yeah, you did good. That's good.
Anyway, like I said, episode 152 here. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Little bit of a new format. Make sure to comment what you think of the new format. Make sure to follow us on all the major social media networks. We have Cole out there. He is Twitter tweeting. He is pumping up that Instagram. Me and him are kind of tag teaming the Facebook stuff as much as he can post on there. And then make sure to, if you can't follow us on YouTube, make sure to get us at your primary podcast area. So we are on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. I have not looked into getting on. What's the one for the other thing? The inferior phones that Justin has? What is that called?
Android?
Yeah. What is the Android? Like the Google Store or something? Is that what they're on for the podcast?
Yeah, it's Google Play Store.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Google Play Store.
Yeah, we're not in there because we don't like inferior products like that. So, anyway.
Whatever, man. I don't care.
Also, make sure to check out the new Fantasy podcast. We are playing Fantasy Supercross on PulpMXFantasy.com. We have a league. Make sure to join it. Those shows come out a couple of days before the races. As soon as the handicaps come out, we talk what we scored, what our picks might be for the coming race, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure to check that out. That'll be on YouTube and SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts also. And now, without further ado, we have not one, not two, but three co-hosts tonight. First up, usual co-host, former amateur mechanic, now running the Pizza Patrol for all your pizza needs. Even though they're not sponsoring the show, we'll still give them a shout out. Justin Hartzell. Justin, what's up tonight, man?
Oh, man, just another night.
Just another slinging that dough? You slinging that dough all day?
Yeah, man, slinging the dough all day.
At some point, I'm going to have to come watch you sling dough because I want to see what this is like. I want to see you flip it above your head and stuff.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to come see it. Also,
okay,
on the phone with us here tonight, our other usual co-host, washed up A-Rider, maybe getting his pro card this year, depending upon if he grows a pair or not and how much Rusty pushes him. Cole Ugetti. Cole, what's going on, man?
Oh, not a lot.
Should I have
wrapping up some work stuff from the day and getting packed up, heading up to Boyne to do a little shredding.
should I have introduced you as a future gas rider?
It's coming.
Should that have been
Gas, monkey.
gas
And I'm
fun
gonna plug my YouTube channel here, but we're gonna be doing some videos with it.
All right, plug away, go for it. No one cares.
So yeah, go over to my channel and subscribe. Duh.
What is the channel? You got to tell them the channel.
It's just my name, Cole Ugetti.
Okay, great, cool. So go follow
that for
Cole.
people.
I'll just comment on this video, and Travis will highlight it, hopefully.
Sure,
And, yeah.
sure. We'll go with
Come
something
on
like
over.
that. I'm not sure if I know how to do that. Now, also on the phone
Well,
with us
I
tonight.
think I have access to the account now, so I'll just do it myself.
Okay. Also on the phone with us tonight, former, it wasn't a factory team, right?
Satellite team.
Former satellite team mechanic / media person in the industry for a while,
Tom's being modest right now.
Tom Cooper. Tom, what is up, man?
You know, I think that my time with racing was probably the most relative to what we're going to be talking about tonight. But I think that we're going to be in for talking about a lot because it was an exciting race.
There was definitely plenty of action there at Houston, too. We got plenty to talk about tonight on the show. Tom, if you guys follow the show religiously, Tom, did we do the Redbud 1 wrap-up? Was that where you and I did it, Tom, after that first race this year?
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. That was walking up the hill in the wind. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were wearing that goofy hat, weren't you?
The hat's a
You know,
beautiful thing.
For those that go back and watch it, you're gonna see. I don't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure I was wearing my like Captain America top hat. That was from the MX Nations at Redbud. So if I remember correctly, that was what that was all about. That was so fun.
Well, yeah. So anyway, so Tom's been on the show before. For some of you who might have seen it, I know some of you probably haven't. But Tom does have some roots in the industry. He was a mechanic for Langston's team for a while. Did some stuff for Vermoto back in the day. So Tom has been around the pro ranks probably more than the rest of us. Is that fair to say, Justin? Maybe you. I don't know.
I don't know. Between me and Tom, we've been doing this shit for a long time. It'd be hard to go through all the different shit that we've all done.
Okay. Well, anyway, so we've got some knowledge on the line. As per normal, we will have Mr. Kevin Moranz, who had a super exciting night last night. He will be on the phone here with us in a little while. He's going to call in, so that'll be cool. We can get his perspective on the track and how it felt to get woodcocked and
Oh God,
how it felt to
The
push
old
the front
85
end.
machine got a lot of TV time this week.
Oh, bro, he called me today earlier asking me a couple questions, and I was like, bro, we got so much TV time. That was awesome. So
first thing I want to ask him is how are him and Austin doing right now? Are they talking?
Yeah, I want to ask him about the punt.
All right. So I guess since Kev's not on the phone with us right now, you guys want to talk 450s then to start with?
We need to talk about the red plate right now because this is a kind of a changing of the guard. Maybe not that there's one guy that's running away with it because there's anybody in the whole main could be a winner, but we should really give some credit to the old 5-1 machine that for whatever reason, through the twists and the turns of the whole red flag or the red cross flag, leaves Houston 2 with the red plate.
Well, it's even more impressive come to find out that he rode that main in first gear.
Yeah, a good majority of it. Snap that thing clean on.
So that definitely makes a lot of sense as to why it took him a little bit to move forward. But yeah, that was I don't know, man. I think it's kind of the Barcia that we all expected for all those years coming off the 250s and stuff. And I said it on the show when we did the first round wrap up. His technique has completely changed on that bike. I mean, he just doesn't even look like the same guy anymore. You know, before he was always with the front end, super stiff legs. His chest was always in front of his arms, and now you look at him and he's real centered on the bike. Like he doesn't have as much body language as he used to. He's actually using third gear. I like it. I'm a believer that this. I'm not saying he's gonna win the title, but I think this is a completely different Barcia. I really do.
We got to see what caught that shifter and busted it off.
Yeah, there really hasn't been too much about that. All I saw was it broke off, but other than that, I haven't really seen what caused it. I don't know. I don't know if
He
it's tough luck.
cross-rutted sorry to cut you off. He cross-threaded and got into a bale.
Okay, so that would kind of be the normal thinking. But yeah, I mean, I don't know when that happened. A lot of people are saying it happened after lap 19 or 20. So I mean, it was still into the main, but still, just the fact he was riding in first. I mean, yeah,
It cracks me up that they're saying lap 19 or 20 normally would be like, oh, white flag. Well, this race there was like, I don't know, 29 laps or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was something like that.
Ridiculous. As big as that stadium is too, and to have a 42-second lap time, like what the hell are we doing here?
Well, you know,
All I know is that track was technical though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have some technical spots. I will agree with that. The sand pretty much ate everybody. I think the sand actually won both classes.
Well, I was going to say, as we get into some of the other guys in the 450 class here that I know you guys are going to throw some shade at, I'm going to counteract that argument with, well, name me 5 guys that didn't go down in that sand section, because that was pretty much what ate everyone up all day.
Oh, I could name some people.
Oh, good God, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, even the sand section got Kenny and Anderson, with the penalty.
You know who it didn't get? You know who it didn't get?
Oh, God, here we go. Go ahead.
You know who it didn't get?
Yeah, who didn't it get?
Dylan Ferendis.
Oh, God. Bro.
Boy,
we can...
all I got to know is, I don't know about you. Yeah, I don't know about you, Tom. I don't know how you feel about Frenchie, but when we did our preview show, these two over here, just like everybody else, I don't know. I don't know how well he's going to do.
I shit on him.
Straight up, I'm all American, but I like I got all kinds of respect for both.
I love Frenchie.
For Anderson.
Yeah, I like him too.
You come out, you're a rookie, and you're doing that kind of noise.
And he doesn't even have a full month of prep on that bike.
I
So
was blown away with his corner speed around the top of the corners. He wasn't
kind of like you said too.
doing the bullshit. He was just rolling around the top of them.
When's the last time we've seen somebody pass Mookie in the whoops straight up?
Yep, that's what I was gonna say, dude. I haven't seen anybody do that in a very long time.
Dude,
Probably
And and we even were talking about it, like Travis said, well, he's on the edge, always on the edge. But that's the thing is Frenchie's always on the edge, and we always think, he's going to crash, always going to crash. But that's the thing is he rarely doesn't. He doesn't crash. I mean, I know he had his issues outdoors, but it didn't really matter because he won the title. But that's the thing. We can say he's on the edge, but right now all these dudes are on the edge. And the fact that he got through that main and he had no issues, and like I said, not even having a full month on a Supercross track since he broke his hand or whatever it was, messed up his wrist. I'm sorry. I know this is going to sound like I'm jumping the gun, but for the fact that he already got a second place at a gnarly track, yeah, the lap times were shit, but just how those rhythm sections worked out, how small the faces were, you couldn't mistime anything. If I'm everybody else, I'm looking at that going, that's not a good sign, because if he's already in I think I read an interview that he said he's maybe 90% right now. So if he's second place at 90%, that's not good.
Pretty scary, yeah.
That's not good for everybody else.
Cat-like reflexes when Freezy Lee at yard sale across the lane.
I thought his head was coming off.
Oh man, that was not good. What was he thinking? Like,
What was
laying on a bale? Like, was he gonna land on a bale?
Dude, I have no idea.
Are you talking about Freezy?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he just like kind of landed was gonna land in the middle and peel off the bike, but he didn't seem like he landed right on the bale. It seemed like he was kind of in the middle of the left lane.
He was doing Vince Freeze things.
Well, they said when he crashed in the first start or whatever that they think it fucked up his throttle, and they were fixing it on the line, and they thought they had it, and then what I heard today is that when he hit that jump, his throttle stuck. Because when I watched that too, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you just fucking..."
Yeah, it makes sense because he bailed.
Yeah, I was like, you just land and you're just like, "Nope, see ya." So yeah, that was fucking wild though to watch that bike flip through the air at Brayton and Dylan, man. Like, holy shit.
But it's nothing like having throttle problems on the first lap of a Supercross.
And especially with the way that track flowed after the first lap, then coming back across the start, how many issues we had with that. I mean, dude, that was... But of course, if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Vince Freeze.
And this I'm going to say, like, what were they thinking? Did they just expect not to have people crash in the first turn and then send a lane right back through that area?
Yeah, I really hope that doesn't happen again on Saturday, because, yeah, if I'm a rider and I see that again on Saturday, I'm pitching a bitch. I'm not going to be happy, because they got lucky. There was a lot of different situations that could have happened that it could have been way worse than what it was.
And that was a close call, too.
Yes,
But
it will.
speaking of Yamahas, though, kind of going off Ferendis, can we? I know it's only 2 races, but the way him and Mookie are riding right now, can we kind of all agree that Star's doing a pretty good job with those bikes?
Yep. No disagreeing there. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I mean,
they're living right from the CEO to the janitor. Everybody's all in right now, and everybody's rolling.
well, that you talk about the 250 team has obviously always been good, but between those two, I know the AP had an off night, but he was good on Saturday, and then obviously Colton Craig right now. I mean, if you're Star Yamaha, you're going, yeah, we got this whole thing on lock right now. Because I mean, what Frenchie's third in the points right now, second in the points, third in the points.
No, he's second.
Second.
Second. Okay, so second in the points. Mookie's got to be what, 4th or 5th? So yeah, no, it's a good time to be riding a blue bike right now.
Yeah, but Mookie gave up for like 2 laps last night. That was when like Frenchie got him and somebody else zapped him real quick too. It was, I mean,
But still,
if you watch that, he was just kind of like, okay, I'm done for a second, and it was just like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, it was Webb. He came out of that corner and just went super slow and pulled the tail off.
But I think, though, and we saw it with Christian in the 250 main, though, with how precise you needed to be on that track every lap, I think that he probably, and I'm just going to take a guess, he probably pumped up. Because I think a lot of guys did. Because you could see by the end of the main, there was a lot of dudes that were laboring.
Yeah, they, Steve and Weege were saying on their wrap-up show today that Kenny looked tired, Zacho looked tired. Now, what do you guys attribute that? Like, do you attribute it just to the track, or is it the fact that we raced 2 days ago also? Because, I mean,
I would go track.
You think track?
Yeah, just because, I mean, how many laps did they do 2 days ago? 26, 27?
Yeah, 25 to 27 probably.
So I would imagine that's a pretty close to the breaking point for a lot of these guys. And then to add 3-4 more laps to that at that intensity.
What do you think, Tom?
It would be just the track.
You know what I think was cool about the track is that they had this had the round 1 layout, and then they took it and did a 180 with it by going to the next left-hander closer for the start. Yeah, and the whole track being backwards. Like we never really had the opportunity to do that too much before in the past, besides maybe Anaheim, right? So like that's pretty cool to see, and to have it flow as good as it did, like for what it's worth, especially for having reused dirt. Usually reused dirt is like after Monster Jam or whatever, it's like really slippery and has like a loose top. The dirt looked great last night, so I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I was pretty surprised.
Now, I think Saturday, though, by the main, the track is going to be absolute shit.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be blue groove
I
and
think hammered.
shit.
But I do agree. I think that the track was the biggest thing. And like I said, it's not like there was anything gnarly technical. Once again, we got a couple more whoops than we did on Saturday, but still they got cupped out and they got rutted out, but they weren't deep. They weren't tall. I think it was one of those things that track just seemed so mentally taxing that a lot of guys probably just weren't controlling their breathing, and they were just pumping up by the end of the main. And that's the thing, because it looked like it was really easy to make one small mistake and you were done. You completely blew the line. I mean, how many times did we see guys, especially in the 250 main on the far side rhythm section, the one where out of the sand section, that if you didn't get a good drive at the beginning, you basically had to go double all the way through.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Normally we don't see that with the rhythm sections because these bikes are so good that you can just, hey, I'm going to just chop the throttle and seat bounce it and I can do a triple. Like, no, that wasn't going to happen with how rutted it was getting. So I think it was just a track. I think that it was gnarlier. I think everybody thought, the lap times are short, so it's not going to be that bad. No, that was a technical track in my opinion. And, we'll obviously get from Kevin's standpoint, but it was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be.
Can we talk about how gnarly that quad was at the end of that rhythm section that AC did?
Yep. That's point.
That thing
coming out of that stand and hitting that face like that too, so to get a good drive, man, you don't know what's going to happen, because if you hit a little bit off the line and you get that stand on top of the base and you don't get a good drive off that first face, well, you're going in for a long straightaway right there.
You mean like sex?
They said that they were doing, the 450 guys started doing that at the end of the second practice, but there was only like 3 people doing it.
Yeah.
One of them, I think, was Osborne. Somebody said Sexton did it. And I don't know who the third person was, but that's at least what I read, that 3 people were doing it, but they only did it like twice. So the fact that like AC, so that makes sense.
He did it right in Tomac's eye.
And that tells you how gnarly that was, though, because nobody else, they're like, fuck it, I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, how about
you can even tell, though.
About running into the net.
Well, you can even tell, though, like, at the end, like, how the landing started fading right. So, like, if you were too far to the left, like, you'd have to transition your body weight in the air. And, like, it just... The quad on Saturday after the finish line wasn't a big deal. That quad, I could see how a lot of people were like, nope, I'm not going to touch it. Not the second round.
I mean, dude, it skied you. You could see that when AC did it right next to Tomac in that heat race, man. Like, it just put you to the rafters of that building, and it was you fucked it up.
Ballsy of Tomac to try it the next lap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right behind him.
Him trying it and then almost going into the nets. Like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm out on that.
Ballsy.
Yeah, me too. I'm out on that too. All right, can we talk about these penalties now?
Yeah, you guys have got to fill me in on this because I had heard that people were coming down with penalties, but I didn't really pay enough. I haven't had time. I didn't pay enough attention to it. What's going on?
Okay, so Kenny and Anderson both got penalized for jumping under the red cross flag. I guess it was the first time they came around right after Sexton hit the deck there. Kenny is not happy about it. You can tell by his post on social media. He's real pissed. And it basically is, if you look at the pictures, it's like when Kenny came out of that sand corner, he had, I think, Dylan in front of him. Is that right, Cole?
Yeah, it was Ferrandis, and he was, like, blocking the flagger or something.
Yeah, so the position the flagger was sitting in, if you look close at the picture, like, Kenny's eyesight, there's no way he can see that flag. And, like, when he jumps, if you watch the race, as he jumps, he turns and looks and is like, oh, shit, like, sees the flag and is like, fuck, I fucked that up. So realistically, he probably shouldn't have been penalized. Yes, he jumped on the red cross flag. He shouldn't have been penalized points. He maybe should have gotten the secondary penalty that they have written in the rule book, which he highlighted there, which is like a fine or something like that. But they docked, I think did they do it to Anderson too? The 4 points? I don't think I wrote Anderson's down, what they docked him.
I think it was Anderson, Party Marty, and Kenny, right?
Oh, I didn't even hear Marty. I just heard Ando and what's it called?
Yeah, I mean Marty was pretty much irrelevant because he finished like last anyway. So.
I was gonna say Ando I didn't really hear either, but I mean his finishes haven't been the best, so whatever. It was
It was championship points instead of positions.
Yeah. So they docked Kenny 4 points, which basically took him from first in the points to what is he, fifth now or something? Fourth, fifth?
I'm not sure, but either way, I mean, if this title comes down to a 4-point swing, he's going to be pissed.
Oh yeah.
I guess what do you do? AMA never change.
Can we talk about the fact though? I mean, granted, people had started going down, but like how bad that night was going for Coop, and then for him to rebound and end up where he did.
That's why I still believe he's going to be the champ.
Oh,
me too.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen a lot of. I'm doubtful.
Are you going with the 10-10? You going with the 10-10?
I'm not writing.
The 10-10 guy?
Okay, the 10-10 guy won a heat race. The 10-10 guy came from down in the first corner to 10th place. Webb hasn't
10-10 guy still got 10-10.
Webb has not done anything.
Yeah, fourth.
No, man, I'm just giving you shit, but like, I'm giving you shit, Travis. But like, honestly though, like, I understand you're a Zacho guy to the backs, but like, you got to at this point though, and I understand we're 2 rounds in, but like, now you have to see what I'm talking about though, like with this shit.
Luck has not
he was
been,
riding great.
Look, Luck has not been on our side, okay? But he fucking blew the doors off everyone in that fucking heat race, okay?
I understand that, and I'm not taking that away from him. But once again, though, this is why I will never pit Zach Osborne for a Supercross championship.
Hey, Travis. You know who else used to blue? You know who else used to blow everybody's doors off in a heat race and never win a main or do shit in the main?
Who?
Marty Doblos.
Oh, good God.
Osborne is the new Marty.
Chester, shut up.
Look, I like to give Travis shit, and I like to pick on Zacho because I'm not a Zacho fan. I'm just not buying it. And, I believe that he might get a win this year, but this is why I just don't see that he's ever going to be a title contender in Supercross. Outdoors, obviously, he's already got one, but he continues to still make dumb mistakes. And in that race, he was closing on Eli. Eli gapped it back out. At that point, if I'm him, I just settle in. Like, dude, I don't need to keep pushing.
Yep.
I don't need to keep pushing. And now he's, 15 points back or whatever it is? Like, the chances of him winning this title now are not good.
Look, okay.
It's just not.
We've gone from a,
Got too involved in the dick measuring contest.
We've gone from like a 99% to like 85% on this title hope, okay? So we're down, but we're not out, okay? We're within 15 points, and we're 2 rounds in. And we have speed.
Yeah, but the thing is that now he's 15 back, and he still has not been close to a win. And now he's going to have to go get wins. He's going to have to go get wins.
Everything's
You're not fine.
Everything's
it's
fine.
Not fine.
We are fine. Bro, I don't – look, I'm not 100% convinced at the way this season's going, if the trend continues, that we're going to have to get a whole bunch of wins to win the title. I mean,
I don't know about that. That's never happened in the history of Supercross. But.
Two races, we've had 6 different people on the podium. Like, literally no one has been on the podium twice. And you look at, like, Barsha. I mean, yeah, I know his shifter broke off, okay? But that's the same thing as, like, a bad luck like Osborne, okay? Osborne doesn't go down that first corner on Saturday night. Maybe he has a way better finish than a 10th.
But the thing is, he did.
Barsha's shifter broke last night. I mean, the thing is it seems like it's coming for all of these guys. I mean, hell, dude, Tomac was a 13th the other night, okay? Yes, he won. Did he kind of get lucky he won? Yes, because even he said in the post-race, he was like, dude, those kids were flying. Like, Chase.
Yep, but guess what? Once again, AC pulled an AC, and Chase I feel bad for, because I think that wrist is probably a little bum now. Like, there's not been a word.
Shoulder.
Oh, it's a shoulder?
Have
He's holding his wrist.
It's a deep bruise to the shoulder.
Okay.
I was going to say, when the way he was holding his arm, I was like, everybody's going to say, oh, his arm because he's holding it that way. But to me, I was like, dude, the way he hit, like, did he snap his collarbone from the other side? Like, I don't know. It was
that the collarbone from the pit bike?
Maybe.
Oh, damn.
So
that was one of those slams where when you're watching it on TV and Chase Sexton slams like that, you feel it.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, fucking brutal. I was like, oh, my God, he's dead.
Speaking of slams, and you're going to shit on him, Travis, because it was the Savachi syndrome was out.
Oh, buddy, I got that. He exploded his knee.
No, that's not really a Savachi syndrome, because Travis's Savachi thing is when Savachi's out front. But I'm curious, though, depending on what he did, like, what's Rocky Mountain doing right now? Because Bogle cannot seem to stay healthy, and Joey might be hurt again. So, like, what do you do?
Yeah, I really feel for Bogle, man, because like, every time he starts getting back in the swing of it, he smacks his dome in the first turn.
Can I get a Justin Hill? Can I get a Justin Hill?
My understanding is Bogle not racing the main was not a head thing. From what I've heard, they couldn't get his bike ready.
Okay. And I feel for Savachi too, man, because you got to start thinking, like, usually when a guy's on a new bike like that and they come into a normal season, during the week they can get that bike a little more dialed in.
Yeah.
For this season, that there is no opportunity for that. It's race your bike into shape, if that makes sense. And man, he's not going to be able to have that opportunity, and his results are going to show it, and everybody's just going to keep shitting on the guy even more when. You know, you can love him or hate him, but he has the talent to be, a top 5 guy.
I mean, we'll see him in outdoors.
The first round went good. It went out. The first round was okay for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm watching Savachi's crash right now, and it's the same one that every one of us has done 100 times. When your back tire just hooks a little bit, you go into your high side down, like so annoying, and he just slams on his head.
And I'm a Joey guy, and I feel for him. So it's like, for me, it's like, damn, what can you say and stuff. But yeah, like, if he's banged up now, because maybe it could have just been, hey, it knocked the wind out of him, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But like, if he's banged up and whatever's going on with Bogle, like at Rocky Mountain, what are you doing now? Because that's the thing. Like, all your guys that you normally would go to as like fill-in guys, all are riding now. Like Boss is not. He's on Moto Concepts now. Tickle. What do you do? Like, who are you bringing in if Joey and Bogle are out for Saturday?
The Bear, bro. The Bear.
I'm bringing in Blake Baggett.
Oh, you sure about that?
Maybe if they write him a check for about $800,000.
Oh,
I'm bringing in. I heard I got like $300,000, $300 to $350 they owe him.
Really? Huh.
I thought I read that somewhere and didn't hear it read.
Jason Thomas is coming back.
Yes.
If I'm a team owner and I need a filling guy, I'm calling Mike Brown.
That'd be interesting.
No matter what race it is, it could be the
Man,
car
who
round.
would you call, though? Who would you call right now? Everybody's pretty locked up.
And you can't really bring anybody off at 250. Did you say Phil?
Josh Hill would be a good candidate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm calling in. Yeah, they'd probably call Josh Hill or Justin Hill, but who knows
Bro,
what he's doing.
call Amart.
Yeah.
Amart is
You know,
time to
If
step
there's no
up, buddy.
pressure on the line, I would call Hanny. If there's no pressure, if he's even worried about it at all, I wouldn't.
But isn't he testing for Honda, though? Isn't he? I mean, I don't know.
I think
so.
he's signed his name on a dotted line with Honda somewhere along the line.
And he's making fat money, probably. You know, yeah, that's a good question. Like, who would you bring in? You know, I mean, there are obviously some privateers that you could bring in. You know, you could bring in a guy like Kyle Cunningham, but, I mean, I don't even know what he's been doing. As far as I know, he's just been doing riding schools. Damn, that's a good question. They might get.
The
I'm
Bear,
bringing in Rick Mellon to jump the Himalayas.
Do we know of any European guys that want a shot at Supercross?
No, I know a guy that wants a shot at outdoors, but definitely not Supercross.
Who's that? Timmy G?
Clement de Sol.
Oh, yeah, bring him in and put it on it.
Oh, Jesus, I would not want to watch him ride a Supercross track. Hell no. Jeffrey
The only
Hurley.
rider on the track hitting all the corners with his feet on the peg still.
Yes, and his bar's all the way rolled back.
oh, good God.
I'm calling up Jeffrey, and I'm signing him for $2 million.
Jeffrey Walker?
God, no. Jeffrey Hurley, fuck you.
Oh, God.
I really hope that Hurlings comes out to the States one of these years. I really hope before his career is over, or before he's like over the hill, so to say, that he comes out, because that sure would be.
Oh, it'd be an absolute
I'm
decimation,
so
in my
pissed
opinion.
I wasn't in Indiana to watch him just annihilate all of the Americans.
I just want to see him ride one more time. That's it. I just want to see him ride in person one more time, and then I'm good.
Good God.
Yeah,
Do we know where
Desnations
the
was
Desnations
insane.
is this year?
What's up?
Do we know where the MX Desnations is this year?
France,
I think it's in France, yeah. They've had to change it back and forth. They literally went through 3 different venues, but it's in France. But they're saying they're going to bring it back to the States in 2023.
Iron Man.
Maybe.
Better not have it after August.
Yeah, because all it does is rain. Be a mud fest again.
How about can we talk about the old man though? The old man that got on the box.
Justin
Yeah.
Brayton.
Very, very, very impressive.
I mean, did anybody see that coming? Because we kind of shit on him when we did our preview show.
Dude,
Literally anybody on the gate could walk away with a win, and I wouldn't be that surprised.
I mean,
honestly, 21st place, Joey Savacci could win.
Oh, I know. That's what's crazy about it.
You know what
How-
I mean? Anybody.
How pissed is Chad Reed right now?
Uber pissed. Well, I don't know. He's driving a Lamborghini or racing a Lamborghini, so I don't know if he's that pissed.
Dude,
No, that's over now. He's been riding a Supercross track.
he told
It looked like there's a Daytona section involved with that track he was riding, so I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and just races Daytona.
Well, him and Stuart golfing too, so there's that.
he told Dan Truman he looked at his calendar after he rode the other day and said, "Man, you know, we might be able to make Atlanta."
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been a big Chad fan, but I've always respected him. But can we be real? Like, if everybody is healthy, like, do we really think Chad would make a main, though?
Yes,
It would
I
be
mean,
really
the Deuce
close,
Deuce
honestly.
put it in.
bro.
What'd you say, Cole?
The 7 Deuce put it in.
No, I'm saying if
Chad-
everybody is there. I'm saying if everybody's there, you bring back McElrath, you bring back Anstey, you bring in if Justin Hill is going to race. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, no, but realistically,
that guy's got so
I mean,
much race
Sexton's
cred.
out now. Guys are going to continue dropping, so
I would think that Daytona would actually probably be his best bet.
and I think it's going to happen.
I think so too.
Oh.
Even if it's not,
If I'm rubbing my crystal balls,
I'm not
You have crystal balls?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure it's going to happen this year, but I think he's back next year, especially if everything's somewhat back to normal. We got like lots of fans and everything, fan fest going off. I think he's back next year.
Well, that'd be cool to see. I mean, yeah, Chad.
Chad Reed ain't taking a year and a half off on the couch at 42 years old or whatever. No, probably 37 years old. There's no way you'd do that.
Bro, he's not on the couch. That motherfucker's been riding BMX like a madman with his kids, okay? He's in shape,
God.
bro.
I don't think he's in shape, man. I saw a picture of him.
A 7-year-old, I'm about to come out and win. I tell you that.
I saw a picture of Chad, and, well, like I said, him and Stu on a golf course, and he didn't look that in shape.
Shoot,
good
I
looking
mean,
dude.
Anybody want to correlate Sexton wadding it up to training with Stu?
To Stu? Yep.
Hell no.
Ran through my head too.
Bro, go
Bullshit.
faster. How do you win races, James? How do you win races? Go fucking faster and quad everything. Well, he tried to go faster.
Listen, man, if he wants to really crash like James Stewart, he'd have crashed on that quad.
Well, I mean, dude, you can't tell me
That was a very Stewish crash.
that was a very Stewish crash.
Yeah, but I mean, look, let's be real.
Really hard to beat yesterday. If he hadn't crashed, it would have been really tough to catch him.
Oh, I honestly don't know if they would have. If he wouldn't have went down with, he was already putting what? He had like a second and a half, 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they would have caught him, to be honest with you. Like, the only thing that I can see him catching is the obvious, like, hey, he either pumps up or gets tired, which obviously is a possibility because he's yet to complete an entire 450 main. So, but as far as speed, yeah, I don't know if they would have caught him.
No, if he doesn't crash there, he wins that main going away.
Yeah, but then, I mean, what can you say? What would AC done, though? Because, I mean, AC, like, he was looking good. Like, yeah, he was gapping him a little bit. But, I mean, God, though, if you're AC, like, dude.
Maybe. It just depends. Stop. It depends how many times AC pulled that quad out. That would be, I think, the determining factor as to whether he got by him or not. Other than that, I mean, dude, when you have Tomac...
but really, was that quad really that much faster? You're in the air.
I think it was, man. I think it was. It looked like it was a little... I mean, okay, not significantly. You're not going to make up a half a second on that quad, but you're going to make up a tenth, maybe 2 doing that.
I think that where you made the most time off that quad is when you come out of that stand corner, when you go around the outside, you're carrying so much more momentum, even though it's a little bit longer on that one.
Yeah.
You were seeing guys, especially on the 250s that were coming in at the outside hot, were making up like a half a bike length every lap on that one.
Yeah.
And the tough thing about having a short track is that when everybody kind of spreads a little bit out, well, that's like half a track worth of riders right there. So, like, as soon as that stuff comes into play with lappers, that, like, we had it was up to 6th place last night get lapped. So I have to imagine that it probably has a lot to do with riders crashing a lot, but even more so when you got that many laps on one track that's shorter, the track gets beat to shit way faster, right? And especially when you got 29 laps, like, you're taking a main event a lot longer for getting a beating than you normally would. So when you're coming out of that sand and you're hauling ass like that at that first face, it's probably hard to hit that same thing later in the main and still make those quads at the end.
Well, did anybody notice, too, that Ferendis in that sand corner, like how everybody was fade to the outside, like how he actually started staying to the inside berm and still being able to free into the rhythm section? And I think that was actually, obviously, other than staying tight in the corner, like, nobody was going to the inside, so that sand wasn't getting pushed into the face, so he had less chance to get wheel spin going up the face. And I noticed that he started doing that, like, halfway into the main. And Marv did it, like, I think he did it, like, 2 laps after he had went down in that section because he was doing the same thing. But, like, I started looking at that, I'm like, I don't understand how more of these guys weren't picking up on that because, like, so many people just, they'd go to fade to the outside, and then especially where Chase, where it'd drop off when he got pitched, but all that sand was just getting drug into the face, and you take a chance getting wheel spin, and Frenchie figured out how to hit the triple from the inside, and I'm like, I don't get how nobody else was picking up on that.
I noticed that, and I was like, yep, that's fucking sweet.
And I think
that's such a French thing to do.
And I don't know if he was making up a lot of time there, but, like, conserving energy, and like I said, it was giving him some time. And I just don't know. But once again, though, the 2 Frenchmen, they're the ones that figured it out, and nobody else did.
It's pretty amazing how much differently they ride. Like, the third one that comes to mind for Frenchies that rode totally different was Christophe Orcel. It was like he was...
Oh, my God.
And they ride so much different than the way we do.
I love
it.
Dude.
And just the way, and me, Tom and me talked about Frenchie back in the day, or Porcel, like at Redbud, just his riding style, how much different he is. Like, everybody used to watch Baggett, his hips are back, his chest is behind his arms, and then you look at Porcel and it's straight up and down, and you're like, how the fuck does that work? But then he looks like he's fucking just butter, like he never made mistakes. And you watch him and you're like, well, you get why he won so much.
Can you confirm nor deny him smoking fat blunts before motos behind the semi?
I've heard stories, but I don't know how true they are.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in there and I heard some things, but you never really know, right? People. There's a lot of photos that say a lot of dumb things.
I mean,
especially with that dude.
I mean, with the injury he had, if that's what he's got to do, then fucking go for it.
I can also say that
guys for sure would through the week, but as far as during a race day, I'm not so sure myself.
Lawrence, he's about the only one.
He's confirmed.
J-Law's
Yeah,
pretty confirmed. Let's be real. He was doing it before motos.
Oh yeah, one of my old bosses. He worked for Pro Taper at the time, and he went up into the semi, and the lounge just reeked of pot.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to talk about? We could go on for hours about guys that never lived to their true potential.
It's kind of amazing that it's legal and like that will be a normal thing almost kind of now. For not only for moto, but for just everything else in general. Like if you go to Troy Lee's semi, I'm not saying anything about any of those guys in particular, but just for an example, if you went to Troy Lee's semi after the race, it probably won't be anything more unusual to see that as it would be to see a Coors Light in another one. You know what I mean? It's amazing how that stuff is changing in the world right now.
It's just unfortunate though, and a few guys come to mind that I'm going to be honest. I'm not condoning that by any means. Like I don't have a problem with it and shit, but like we know the stories of guys getting into pills, and it's like you almost wish that shit was legal now. Like it would have been legal back then because maybe those guys would have went down that road instead of going down the pill road. Because we've seen it with so many guys that they wanted that little bit of extra relief, and they went down the pill route.
Yeah, it's shameful to see.
Okay, so
Nico, is he?
So one person we haven't talked about a whole lot here. Can we talk about Tomac winning?
Was it a surprise? Really? I mean,
it's early.
I mean, after that mysterious first round that he's known to do, yeah, it was definitely a little bit of a surprise to me.
No, I mean, is it a surprise that he does that? Is it a surprise that he rides like that one race and then wins the next?
Not really.
It was probably a surprise to himself that he ended up winning. Since I mean, there are so many crashes out there.
Yeah. That's who he is.
That's just who he is.
Oh yeah, I guess he did start in third place, so that's not too bad to crawl up. But there was the first two rounds so far, getting a good start. It's a stupid
God, that quad so big.
detectives, but getting a good start has been so important.
Yeah,
I mean,
450 main just came on, so I'm getting thoughts popping in my head.
Oh, I just finished it, dude. And once again, not to keep being a homer and you know tooting Frenchie's horn, but I didn't realize he came from 11th.
God, blow him already.
Yeah, Frenchie's in 10th right now.
What did you say, Travis?
Nothing. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, whatever, man.
Are we ready to move on
So,
to
like,
250s
Barsha's
here?
moving his way forward, and then they went off him, and then he just wasn't moving, and Roxon and Weber up in the pack a little further.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right, anything else
Just
with
whipped it in his eye.
anything else with 450s, or are we ready to move on to 250s?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's take a quick 2-second break. I'll get Kev on the line here, and we'll talk some 250s here. Don't hang up. Hold on.
Dude, and like I said, right now it's impossible.
All right, we got Kev on the line here with us. Kev, we're on with Justin and Cole like normal, and then Tom that you met at Redbud there. In the crazy hat. The other crazy conspiracy guy with all of us, you know.
Oh Jesus.
Oh boy. Hey teammate 5, nice performance out there. Not the result maybe you want, but you rode really well, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I've honestly was kind of expecting to get shit on, if I'm being really honest. Like people message me and whatnot, but like I've gotten literally like nothing but positive messages. Like obviously, we were the fastest one in that LCQ, and we should have been in the main event, but things just kind of happened. Obviously, I kind of like threw it away a little bit with my front wheel jumping to an outside right I was not expecting it to, and then got back up in 5th, and I was like, all right, Kevin, you can't be doing that shit. I was like, just get your stuff together. You still got a chance. Passed into 4th, and then just immediately got cleaned out. So
you got woodcock.
You got woodcock.
Yeah, so like I've gotten a lot of just really positive messages, just like, dude, like your speed's there, your aggression's there, your starts are there. It's like I've gotten a lot of comments that like I'm just a different rider from last year, so it's actually pretty promising.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Looking.
What else is there is TV time. There's nobody that got more TV time than the 8.5 machine this week.
Yeah, like, and I was actually talking to my brother about that, and I was like, he's like, the only person's name that was mentioned more than you, Kevin, was Jet. Like, everything else was, like, you were the second most mentioned rider, which that may be an exaggeration, but
I don't
Well,
think
I'm
it's
gonna be
too
honest with you,
far
Kevin.
off.
I think that I think you had top 10 speed, man. To be honest with you, looking how that main ended and looking the way that Osby and Short were riding, I think that you were right on par with those guys. Because I mean, even in the heat race, even with the heat race, like looking where Grant Harlan was, and I even said in the group text, I'm like, Harlan got 5th in the heat race, and I'm like, with the way you were coming through the pack after what happened in the first turn, I'm like, Kevin's faster than Harlan, and Harlan got 5th. And then, like I said, watching the way Osby and Short rode, especially with them fading at the end of the main, I'm like, if Kevin gets in, he would have been right there with those two guys.
Oh yeah,
100%.
And I know none of you guys know this, but I didn't want to post about it on Instagram just because, like, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses.
Hey, quiet.
But there was a miscommunication between the team and I on where I was at in that heat race.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I was told I was in 10th the whole time. And so, like, the whole time I'm like, okay, I need to make one good pass, and I was going to make it stick. So I didn't wait. Obviously, I was trying, but it's tough to make a pass on that track, so I set it up. And I did make a pretty aggressive pass on Harriman, which I apologize for afterwards, because I thought that was for a transfer spot. So I did it late in the race, made sure I got in, came across the finish line, like, whew, thank God, we got 9th. That's all that matters. And I turned up, look at the board, and it says 10, and I was not happy.
Yeah, I could understand that. That's
So I was told, I mean, it's part of it. There's nobody, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and blame him. I shouldn't have been in that position anyway. Yeah. But I thought I was in 10th the whole time, so I made the one pass there right at the end to get to 9th. Well, ended up I was in 11th the whole time.
I also want to know
that so far with this season, the starts have been so important. And one thing's for sure, with the 8.5 machine, you must be running some kind of cheater gas.
Dude, I've been
crazy.
Oh, it's that Tom Zahn motor. It's that Tom Zahn motor.
Yeah, it's that Zahn motor.
100% PVR all the way. That's the way to go.
Hey, though, can everybody agree on this phone call? And I mean, obviously Kevin's going to agree because it's him. But like us jerkies over here, everybody was talking about, and Ricky even said it. Oh, Moranz ran it in too deep in the first turn. I'm like, no, he didn't. Everybody was like, oh, Kevin, because
wheel was up.
Yeah, they were like, oh, Kevin locked up his front brake. I'm like, he was trying not to fucking take out Austin. And that's the first thing they said. They're like, oh, he pushed it in too deep. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, he knew Austin was there. He's not trying to plow into his boy. I'm like, that has nothing to do with that. So like that.
Like, I even apologized to Austin after the fact because I knew I hit him, and then I didn't. Obviously, I went down, so I didn't see what happened to him. But when he passed me, I was like, oh shit, my bad, buddy.
But that kind of annoyed me a little bit when that was the first thing, and they said they were like, oh, Moranz ran it in too deep on the first turn. I'm like, no. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it.
No, not 100%.
Rick Carmichael just
It's like everybody shitting on Osby a couple years ago.
I actually had a conversation with my brother about this too. He's like, I don't know. I don't want to talk shit on anybody. Obviously, I'm cool with Ricky and everything, but he is very hard and aggressive with the things that he says. I feel like it's not like I came in there too hot over my head, knowing that I was gonna get cut off like that. Like I didn't expect him to come down on me that way because we were pretty much even.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he did get a little bit of an edge, so I tried locking it up. And then what really screwed me is my foot peg tagged the tough block, which made my back end go out.
Yep.
Instead of keep going straight. So that's what made me push into him.
Yeah, I just heard that and I got a little
stomp it out and keep going.
I just got a little bugged by that when they said that. I'm like, for real? I'm like, dude, that's not what happened.
That was just
Man,
called.
no disrespect to the greatest of all time, but not even 2 laps later, he's praising some guy for running it on the front wheel into the corner too hot. It's like, he's shitting on Moranz, and then he's praising this next guy. I don't know. Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
That's called yanking a start. All right, Ricky can suck it. That's what I think.
Tom Zahn motor.
Dude, Tom Zahn motor. And one, I've always been good at starts. I'll say it right here. It may not happen, but I 100% believe in my heart that I'm going to get a whole shot by the end of the season.
Yes, let's do it.
So I'm actually really glad you just mentioned this because I've been waiting to ask you on the air. What is your routine with start when you're on that same Supercross gate? Because it's like a metal grate behind the gate on those ones, right? So the same start consistently every time, right? So what's your technique?
So the one thing I do that a lot of people don't do is I've learned it from Shannon Ide. I do my 3 outside fingers on the clutch, my pointer finger tucked in between the grip and the clutch on the inside, So, like, I have my 3 outside fingers because it just allows me to have a little bit more control instead of having my, like, 2 pointer and middle finger. So that's the way I always do my starts. But, I mean, simple routine, just pulling up, like, the pants of, like, where your crotch is, like, pulling it up real tight so that way your pants are obviously tight on your butt. So that way when you take off, it doesn't sag back. But other than that, just I have very good reaction time.
Do you have a set on your bike where you have the specific RPM that you start at, or do you do it off the feel?
No, just by feel.
There you go, folks. Kevin Moranz giving away the secrets.
There it is. Yeah.
There you go. Kevin Moranz giving away the secrets, people. That's how you want to do starts now.
So line it up next to those factory boys. What do they got going on? They got some shift lights or something, or what are they?
Oh, I have no idea. I honestly love it when I line up next to them because I know, I may not get to the first corner before them, but I know for a fact I'm going to beat them like off the jump. Like almost every photo from last year that they took like a photo like a foot or 2 off the line, my front tire is in first place.
That's awesome.
Well, pretty much all those factory teams have the get RPM thing on the front fender.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's most of them. Yeah.
I remember the Star Bikes used to do it, and Jeremy Martin. I was at Daytona, way up in the nosebleeds, and going around the track, you could just see that thing blinking, like while it was going around the track.
That would annoy the shit out of me.
It probably, I would be annoyed too, but still.
No.
Well, I got one more question for you, Kevin. When you're on the start,
I feel.
When you're on the start, Kevin, do you look at the gate? Do you look at the pin? Do you look in front of the gate? What's your?
No, just at the front bar of the gate. The part's is closest to me. As soon as I see it flinch, I just drop the clutch pretty much.
I was a pin guy.
I don't have any secrets, man. I just consistent with what I do.
Yeah, we can't be giving away all the secrets now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working. You're gonna be getting more.
Well, I'm sure all the other guys on that gate listen to this janky radio show.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, we don't even go to the races, so like in Steve's mind, we all suck.
I'm just being real. I doubt anybody on that gate listens to this.
Oh, for sure. There's no way. No way.
Maybe not today, but maybe down the road.
Guys,
the one thing I like about podcast is that you can.
So I mean, you can shit all over Woodcock right now if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna message Woodcock and be like,
no,
bro,
dude,
you need to listen to this.
I'm buddies with him. Like, I raced with him over in Germany and shit. So, like, when we came off, obviously, like, when he just didn't even try to turn, he just decided to go for my front wheel, I was like, oh, wow. I was like, that's just exactly how I wanted my night to go. But I came off, and I'm not the one that's like, I shouldn't even been in the LCQ anyway. And I threw it away at the beginning, so, like, this is all on me. So I'm not going to sit here and just be pissed at him. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even have been in that situation.
I'll be pissed
So
at
I
him
wasn't
for
going
you.
to come off screaming and yelling like that doesn't do me any good, doesn't do him any good. But I did stop him. And I was like, dude, when I passed you, I did the 333 out of the sand, and I jumped into the corner. That's why I came in contact with you. I didn't mean to do that. You were just trying to cut down. And I was like, when you were trying to pass me, you didn't even try to turn, dude. You just went straight into my front wheel. And
he didn't angle that corner at all.
No, he just like pointed down. He's like, "Oh, my left or whatever." And I just drove off. It's like, whatever, dude. Like,
hey, get
it is what it is.
Get him to come in for an interview in Indy, and I'll call him out on it on the show live. I'll be like, bro,
dude, I have no hard feelings. Like, we were in 4th place for the LCQ. Like, that shit just happened.
I know.
Yeah,
but obviously, I got the short end of the stick, so I should be pissed about it. But
you got the short end of the Woodcock.
Oh my God! No more puns. No more puns.
Hey, Kev, we need to find.
It's just part of it.
What's the best pun you heard on that so far?
Oh Jesus!
I haven't heard a whole lot of anything, to be honest.
Oh, Kevin, you got a whole thread on Vital MX that has your name on it. That's just people giving it back and forth. Oh, he got woodcocked or some bullshit.
That's funny.
Yeah, we need to find a picture of that.
No,
we'll
I mean,
make a
I know
shirt.
that, like, when we get to the main event, like, it's not even the fact that I'm trying to get retaliation. Like, I could care less about that. Like, I know I'm going to beat him in the, like, main event, or at least I should. I held myself to a little higher standard. So I shouldn't be messing around with anything like that. So, you know, we'll just put our, like, sights on better than that. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, I think that top 10's coming sooner than you think.
Hey, not to be that guy, but
you're going to be that
He's
guy.
going to be that guy.
But I'm going to be that guy. We all took you in fantasy, so
No, I didn't.
that
dude,
top 10
don't.
and
Yeah, I totally fucked everybody then, didn't I?
put that.
Well,
put that
no, this
top 10
jackass
in
over
every-
here is like, oh, he got Kern Thurman in for me, though.
Well, I actually have Woodcock too, so yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, yeah, fuck that guy.
Okay, so how many of you guys picked me in round 1 then, huh?
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't pick you in round 1. I waited for the
No.
favor.
Yeah, so that's
No, then
your fault.
we had you on the show, and you're like, "Your boy don't quit," and I was sold.
Hey, man, you can blame Travis for me not picking you in the first round. He's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, he's out. I'm out. I'm down. Can't do it.
Yeah, Travis talked us out of it, so you can.
Yeah, you can blame him.
Look, man,
But,
I had
Travis,
information.
you're my supporter, bro.
I had information direct from the source. Bro, I've been on a Supercross track 6 days. We're racing into shape. I hit a deer with my van, so I couldn't train for 2 days. Like, dude, I had information that was not pointing to hey, this may not go as planned, okay? I just passed the information along.
So in other words, were you happy with my first performance?
I was super stoked on the first. I was stoked. Hey, I told you earlier today when we talked on the phone, I was stoked with the performance on Tuesday night. I mean, the result wasn't exactly what we wanted. We weren't in the main, but fuck, do we have a lot of TV time, bro? Like, the logo was on.
We did. We had a lot of. Then, it's not good to say, but I told this to my brother too. I was like, obviously, I'm not one that wants to be taking anybody out and whatnot. And I don't want to be, obviously, hanging up with my boy Austin, but I was like, if you have a situation like that happens with the main guy in the class and your name is mentioned, it requires the factory teams and these managers to hear my name and know what my name is to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Can I just say there was?
And that bike looks good, too.
Can I just say there
It
were?
does look sick.
Especially when it's going to pull a whole shot at round 3, just saying.
Yeah, there you go. Whole shot to finish.
There was no
First looking
tears.
fun.
There was no tears shed watching Faulkner hit the ground. I was like, yay!
Oh, my God,
There we
you're
are.
such a dick.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
You're
Oh,
such
man.
a dick, dude.
I'm a huge asshole. It's all right though.
Big comment.
He's like, oh,
that's
that
fine.
stupid fuck. I'm like, you bastard.
Hey, look, he wasn't hurt, okay? So it's fine to cheer it on. Oh, he's on the ground. Darn it. Oh, Shaw, I'm so sad.
Dude, just because you don't like Faulkner, just get over it.
Look, can we
I
talk?
texted him after I came back after that after the heat. I was like, dude, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. You just kind of didn't cut me off, but I was like, I tried slowing down. My front back end came off the ground, and he's like, oh no, you're all good. I was like, all right.
Did he even know it was you?
Oh, I guarantee he did.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that, if, he knew.
At the time, maybe not, but when he was coming back through the pack and he knew, he had to have known it was me coming in on the inside of him. I'm sure he knew.
He's like,
I was
damn it,
even
Kevin.
with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kevin,
Get
tell
up,
us about the first turn this week. It seemed like it was a lot
Yeah,
of
for
traffic
real.
that were in the first turn. Tell us about the first turn.
It was very tight for how long the straightaway was.
Going across lanes,
Yeah,
it's almost like 290s in a way.
Yeah, and I didn't really like how, even in the LCQ, how you go through and then you turn and then you turn immediately back to where people are going to be down if there's a first turn.
Yeah.
accident.
Oh, man. That came in later.
And they red flagged one heat because of that shit.
Bogles.
Yeah, I heard both.
Kevin, you see that? When you normally during Supercross, Kevin, normally during Supercross, you go up into industry seating and watch between the races, right?
Yeah.
Is there industry? Where do you go now this year with all this grown-ups?
Dude, I don't know. It's really weird. I don't even go in the stadium during the races. I'm actually going to be really honest. I just watched TV. Obviously in round 2, I had to go to the LCQ, so I was getting all my shit ready to go to the LCQ. But when I transferred straight from the heat, I just watched the races from inside the camper.
Mm-hmm.
That way I could actually look at all the lines and whatnot and how it's forming.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Oh, go ahead.
Go for it, Kev.
No, I'm go ahead and ask me a question.
What?
The only thing I was going to ask is obviously everything is different going on, and we really hope that maybe in 2022 things can get back to a little bit of normal, or maybe even for outdoors a little bit. But what is the vibe right now in the pits with everybody? I don't mean just the factory teams and the privateers, just everybody, no matter what, is everybody kind of just. I know you can have so many people in your group, but is everybody still communicating with each other like, hey, buddy, or like does the moment that you get to the track, is everybody just kind of keeping their distance and doing their own thing?
No, it's definitely not distancing. I mean, yeah, you don't talk to your buddies as much, but you still like just BS with them, and it's still kind of like a normal vibe, but the whole fan situation is really awkward. There's just obviously not as much foot traffic. If there is, everybody's like, you don't want to, like, you want to interact with the fans, at the same time you don't, just for the off chance that somehow you do get COVID, and then, like, it is just really weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I don't even want to get into the bullshit that you guys got to fucking pay for your COVID test. I think that's absolutely shit.
Dude, yeah, we could get on to a whole tangent.
Yeah,
I
I can go on a tangent.
Literally across the parking lot.
Oh my god.
All right, I have a couple of track questions. Number one, we watched that sand section all night. What was that like riding that sand section? Because it pretty much ate everyone up.
Good. So like, I don't know if they showed it, but like that was one thing I was kind of happy about. Is like in the LCQ, ripped the whole shot, come around first lap, and I clicked out the 3.33 that nobody else was doing. So like, it gave me a little bit of a gap. But the sand was goofy, and the fact that sometimes, depending on how they prepped it, you couldn't get the 3.33 because if you went outside, like sometimes the sand would drop off and then go to the face. But like luckily in the LCQ, it was fresh enough that it came right out of the sand into the face. So like it was, I don't know. I never liked sand on a supercross track, if I'm being really honest. But I mean, I guess it made things interesting.
Good for Sexton.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
The other thing I have a question about, did you hit that quad at the end of that rhythm section, or was that something that somebody made up?
No, I hit it.
You hit it?
Yeah.
How was that? Because that thing was fucking huge.
No. The quad at the end of the rhythm section, the first one, no.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard somebody say that.
But you're talking about the one that Tomac
Right
almost
after the-
jerried on?
Yeah. I thought I
What
heard
about
somebody.
the
Talking about the
stretch
one right
right
after the sand?
Yeah.
No, did not do that.
Okay.
I was about to say that's a stretch even for a factory 250.
I thought I heard somebody say you did it, and I was like, you got to be shitting me. Like, what the fuck is Kev doing over here? What kind of big bore's in that bike, Kev?
Power 250 out.
Yo, I've been told multiple times that if I keep pulling starts like that, they're gonna try to pull my motor apart.
Oh
my God.
dude, you're gonna.
God, we will send you money to tear down a star motor.
Fuck that. Yo, dude, I'll be all on board. I swear to God, it's like fucking Gavin Grace in 08. Oh, he's a privateer, so he's obviously got to be cheating. No, maybe his start technique's good.
Yeah. So okay, how big was that quad? Because I know you obviously went through that section. Was that as big as it looked on TV?
Yeah, that was massive. I definitely think it would have been pretty doable. If I was on a 450, I probably would have thought about it. I mean,
You got Tom Zotmore pulling you around that thing.
Yeah, exactly. But like with the momentum of like a good guy on a 450, it's there definitely doable.
Was there anything else like tricky about the track, like the rest of it? Because I know it was basically the same thing, just backwards from the other night. Was there anything sketchy, or how were the whoops? Were those bigger, the same, smaller? I mean,
No, they weren't bad. Nothing really stood out, to be honest.
did the track seem to be holding the moisture like it was the other day, where it like was rutting up a whole lot and kind of getting weird, or do you think it's gonna be real hard packed for Saturday?
Yeah, we've been wondering about the dirt because left in there, kind of like last year and normal years when they have the Monster Jam like the week before or whatever, usually it gets real hard pace. What did you think about the dirt?
I don't think it was bad. I think it's honestly going to stay soft. Like, it's rutting up ridiculous every time we go out. So, like, I don't think it's anything really – I think it's going to be soft again.
When you're doing that many laps, it's 42-second lap time or whatever, it's got to
That does suck.
in a lot different
Because yeah, it does suck because it ends up being a heat race feels like a main event.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other track questions for Kev? If not, we can move on to talking about some more of this 250 class here.
I'm good.
Far away.
All right, Kev, you staying on, or are you jumping off?
No, I'm good for a little bit longer.
Okay, cool. Well, in that case, let's start with my boy here, my other boy.
Which one?
Golden
You got like 30.
Jet, bro. These guys are all screwed.
Dude, your homerness disgusts me.
Oh, shut the fuck
God,
up.
yeah. Tom's right. The only thing that was cool was the fact that it was a Honda. Other than that, you got way too many boys. I can't keep track.
No way, bro. Golden
That bike
Jet
was
was
so good.
on it.
Yeah, listen, Homer Simpson over here.
The rest of these boys are screwed. He was a little nervous the first
Dude,
round. We had some nerves
It was
going.
oh my God.
Now we got it. Now we got the nerves out of the way. We had the bad round out of the way. Boom. We're on. Wipe our hands. We're good.
There you go again with that stuff.
We are going to be on
The
this
we.
jet train for a while.
Okay, man. It was one race. He rode awesome, kind of like last year when he should have won in Anaheim.
Oh my God, are you feeling
But
okay?
let's slow the roll, bro. Let's slow it down a little
Justin
bit.
used the word
Slow it
awesome.
down.
He didn't use good. He didn't use okay. He used awesome. So that means it was a really
he
good
did.
round.
It's fun to watch.
Bro, he was 14 seconds out. What else? How you want me to describe it? Oh, he fucking rode amazing.
Exactly. That's because we are killing it and we are going to the top, baby.
Oh my God.
It's really fun to see the Lawrence boys to be doing so well because, I mean, especially Jet being 17 and winning, and not just winning, but like whooping everybody's ass and to be out there having moved across the world, that's a pretty cool thing. That's one thing that I like about Supercross a lot. Is we get like Chad Reed kind of guys that
Hopefully
change the
Hunter
whole
can keep it going.
shit.
Kev, were you?
I'm looking forward to seeing where Hunter Lawrence ends up in East Coast.
I really hope he can get on the podium because I like Hunter a lot.
I mean, Reed's kid was leading him around a track the other day I saw, so I don't know. Maybe his speed needs to be worked on a little bit, but.
I hate you so much.
Oh, I know you do, dude. That's why we do this show together. It's awesome.
Jesus.
All right, so Jet has a golden rod, golden side.
Jet has a golden
Jet has
rod.
a golden rod.
You need to take it down a notch, dude.
Oh,
you
God.
really do. I swear
So
to God.
Jet has an awesome ride. Takes the win. By
Yeah,
a
might as well
lot.
get into it. You want to shit on Fortner for a little bit? We might as well get into that. Just make that a segment, the shit on Fortner segment.
Okay.
I mean, I do. I want to bring up the point where RJ doesn't forget.
Oh yeah. You know what I was waiting for?
Man.
I mean, he had beef with Sexton from way in the middle of outdoors and still cleaned his ass a few months later.
Oh,
All
it's
right,
gonna be
so
great.
Are you trying to tell me? Do you think RJ is going to pay Fortner back?
Oh yes,
Yep.
100%.
I think so.
Okay, so how many people in the last 3 years are going to try to pay Austin back when it's really not even his fault? We had Jet do it, that didn't work out. Mosman tried to, that didn't work out.
Did you watch?
I mean,
did you
think
watch
this
RJ
time
last
he
year?
was a little impatient.
That was a.
I mean,
that was
you
a
can look at it
crappy
both
move.
ways. You could look at it both ways. I mean, yeah, he really didn't need to drive it in that hard, but also he was trying to move forward. But then again, though, if RJ doesn't dab his foot, he probably doesn't go down.
Look, rule
I
number.
think that's a real racing personality thing with those two, especially with Forkner. And it's a good thing we have Mr. Moranz on the phone to talk about it. But Forkner's racing personality, if you will, is something that's also that is not only the thing that makes him win, but also the thing that makes him struggle with crashing and things. Kind of like we used to see with Stewart, right? So,
Oh yeah.
when you see guys like Kevin that grew up riding or at least ride with him nowadays, it's like, well, what do you guys see differently on that kind of stuff than we do, and as watching on TV or watching in the stands or whatever it may be.
Kev, what did you think of Forkner's move? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw the video of them getting together. I mean, I don't know. I think that the move was, I don't want to say it was warranted. Like, I think Austin tried to take advantage of it, but I think he went up like too hard, too fast. Let's put it that way.
Okay,
Like, he didn't really show him a wheel. He just decided to take his line instead of trying to show him a wheel.
I think we all on this call can agree that Forkner was going by RJ. I think he did it a couple of corners or maybe even a lap too early. I think if he would have had a little bit more patience, which we've all said that Forkner lacks, and we thought maybe he would have it this year, and now it's like, does he? Does he have it?
I'll be honest with you. I think that if he doesn't get loose in the whoops on the first or second lap or whatever it was when he had to check up on the finish line, I'm not saying he's going to beat Jet, but I think that he gets second in that race. I really do.
Oh,
I don't.
dude, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that at all.
And that's the thing is that I don't know. I mean, I don't bash out of it stuff. Not like you too, Travis, but like everybody keeps saying, "Oh, is this the same old Fortner? This is the same old Fortner?" And yeah, he had that incident with RJ, but I don't think that this is the same Austin that has been the past couple of years, just from the way he's been riding in practice. Because how many times that if his name isn't top of the leaderboard, does he get pissed off and he's like, "Oh man, I got to go out and be number one fastest qualifier," and then he ends up hitting the deck. And so far through 2 rounds, we haven't seen that with him. So I know that it's not been great. He got second and then that, but like I personally think he's matured. I don't think it was great to do what he did. I do agree. I think he rushed it too quickly. But I don't think this is the same Fortner. Now, it'll be interesting on Saturday because is he going to come in and like, okay, now I have to win. But I don't think it's the same guy that we've seen for the last 2 or 3 years. I just don't. I think his mindset is, hey, I just need to make it through these rounds.
I mean, I'll agree with you that I think he has matured as far as the qualifying thing, where he doesn't think he has to go out and set the blazing fast and end up, wadding himself into oblivion. But then you see stuff like this racing incident here with Hampshire, and it's like, dude, you have to calm down. You are clearly faster than people. Take it back 2 notches, notch and a half. Take your time, get past him, and then go after Jet. If you don't get Jet, well, then you went 2-2, and now all of a sudden, boom, you have the red plate instead of going down. And now I don't even know where did he even finish 6. So now you went 2-6.
Finish better, Joe.
Yeah, it could have been better.
It's RJ too. Like I said, I haven't really heard anything on what RJ's point of view is. But RJ.
Oh, he's gonna remember.
He
remembers.
He's all about the payback. So,
but the problem though is that RJ is not on Austin's level, and the only situation that I can see that happening is that if they come together in the heat race or whatever, because I don't see. Unless Austin crashes again, those two aren't going to be near each other because Austin is clearly faster than RJ. I don't know. I guess for me, because I've always had a little bit different perspective on Austin, I think that Saturday, I think he's going to come out with a point to prove. Now, maybe that goes against him and he wads his shit like he has before, but I almost feel that he's going to come in Saturday thinking that if I don't win, I'm not going to be happy at all. Like Saturday, we saw that, hey, I got second. I took it, but I feel that he's going to want to come in on Saturday and he's going to want to win, and if he doesn't, he's going to be pissed. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I think if he doesn't win on Saturday, his title hopes are dwindling fast and furiously.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it depends on if he doesn't win where he ends up, but if he gets on the box again, I don't think so because, I mean, what? Christian's still got the points lead and Jet's third, right?
Maybe yes. I want to say so because
I think it's Craig, Nichols, and then Jet.
Yeah. So speaking of Craig, can we talk about his night?
I think he pumped up. But I think he rode great.
He pumped up, but word on the street is he had clutch problems. I don't know what kind of clutch problems, but I heard he had clutch problems.
I just want to talk about his whoop speed all the time.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Man, he and
pretty good.
He and Colt Nichols, who also had a good ride, had a real close call in the rhythm section when Colt went by. I thought.
Oh yeah, I just watched that.
On the speed, I thought that they connected, but it was just they kind of, both moved in the middle of the rhythm lane. But that shit's scary as hell when you're coming through a rhythm like that and you're right next to a guy.
I think right now, I think that Nichols is the one that I'd kind of be watching for these next couple rounds because, like I said in the group chat, I think that even though he got a good start, I think that if he rips a start and just has 5 or 6 clean laps, I don't see why he can't win. Does he have the outright speed of Forkner and Jet? No, he doesn't. Does he have the outright speed of the way Christian rode on Saturday? Probably not. But we know that when Colt's on, he's just very consistent, and he's a bulldog. He doesn't really get tired as far as we've seen in the last couple of years. So I feel that if he gets a start, he just gets – what's up?
I think – sorry, not to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that if he gets just 5 or 6 clean laps out front, I don't see why he can't win. I'm really being honest.
You get a whole shot right now in this series, with exception of all the crashing that just happened at the last round. If you get a whole shot, you're in a good spot, such as the 8.5 machine is going to be getting this weekend.
Facts.
No cap, as the kids say.
I really want, if Kevin rips a holy and when he leads for the first lap, I really just want him to do a fist pump over the finish line.
Yeah, I want a big fist pump.
I want a no-footer.
If Kevin rips a hole shot, I'm gonna have to send him a bonus. So let's see that happen here,
Yeah, what's
How much is
the
the
LCQ win bonus looking like?
bro. I mean, we
this
don't
is not a
Whole
LCQ.
shot
This is a
bonus
heat-
deal.
This is a heat win. This is a heat win bonus.
a heat win bonus. Oh man, dude. Well, that depends. Are we getting a mention during the interview? If we win the heat?
Kevin wins a if Kevin wins a heat race, me and Cole chip in $500 a piece.
No.
Damn.
Okay. Kev, there you go.
Looks like I'm flying to Houston, and I'm spreading COVID all over the factory.
We're having a COVID party down in Houston. Let's go.
That's
I'm gonna put COVID in a bag and drop it off.
Just walking in semis, coughing. How's everybody doing? Oh, sorry. Oh God, that would be excellent. So,
That's actually a good little question probably before I have to run. Is do you guys think that a title contender gets COVID this year?
oh God.
Oh God.
Well,
I think it'd be fake news.
Ways around it.
yeah.
Like I said, I think that somebody said that somebody got it in Salt Lake last year, but I don't know who it was. So
Yeah, I'm thinking if a big factory guy gets it, and knowing the AMA being the AMA,
They're
I
gonna
think
sweep
all
it
it's
under the
going to
rug.
take is a check with a certain number on it, and it'll get swept under the rug.
well, could you imagine that though? And I mean, we won't talk about the 250s because that's even more crazier. But like, say for 450, say that, God forbid, he's got the points lead, which obviously we know he can. He's got the points lead, and there's 2 or 3 rounds to go, and it's 5 points between him and whoever's in second. And I guess Kenny's a good one because he, obviously has all of his immune issues, and he gets COVID, and then he can't race the next 3 rounds or whatever, and he loses the championship that way. I mean, that's just, I don't know. I mean, good God.
The start on this week is a right hand 180, so it's not a kind of a 290 like last week or yesterday I should say, but it's a 180 that's kind of a sweeping right into a 7-pack rhythm. So you got a right hander in a rhythm. You better be ready for some action there, 85.
Yeah, no joke. Especially if it's right-hander, you're gonna have all sorts of people toppling over each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now there's going to be even more people in the first turn going down.
When you
Well,
come to
I'll
a
be in
race
front of
like
them,
that,
so I
you're
don't
going
care.
to pick the gate. What's your mindset when you're coming out of a race like that when you're trying to get a holy on a right-hander nonetheless? If you're trying to do that and get what's your strategy to pick a gate?
If what are we talking about in a heat race?
I mean, if you're just trying to get a start, whether it's heat race or the main, where are you picking your gate? Like more toward the inside, because you're coming into it with no rear brake, right?
Yeah, 100% as far inside as you can go, probably. Is going to be better than outside because everybody's going to run wide. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like naturally going into a right-hand corner, obviously you're going to have your right foot out, so people don't have their rear brakes. So even say, because like let's be honest, like the main event gate picks that I've had in the past, not so much this year. I think this year I have a good chance at a top 10 gate pick going into the main. But like last year, I was always like 18, 19, 17, 16, something like that. So like I was always on the outside. So if I have the option of a very inside gate or a very outside gate, 100% I'm taking the inside gate because of the right-handed corner. People are going to be coming in hot, trying to get off that brake, then they're all going to push wide, which makes the inside open. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
100%.
So before you roll, I want to ask you a few questions. This is the first year, and you're in your first week of doing a schedule like this, where you're staying at one spot for 3 rounds in a row before you go to the next city. So when you're going toward this the 3rd round right now, and you have 2 or 3 days till tech, whatever it is. What do you do? Where are you during the week now? What's your schedule like?
So I'm actually staying with the guy that's helped me go up to the line, Chris Vigala. I'm staying with his brother John. And so it's nice that I have like a family friend that I can stay with down here, because then obviously I don't have a hotel that I'm paying for 12 days or whatever it is. So I just kind of chill at his place and I get all my computer work done, my social media stuff. emails, all that BS, website updates, pretty much everything that I do on my program. So I just kind of chill there and do little cycles because I brought my road bike down with me, and then go to the track, get my bike set up, go through tech, and then race the next day. So, like, if I'm being really honest, I hope Supercross never goes away from this setup, but I know they will as soon as COVID goes away.
It must be a lot easier for privateers to not have to drive.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Obviously, I mean, it's nice that if I, like, kind of my goal is to find, like, family friends or, like, moto friends or moto families that just have, like, an extra room close to every stadium. So I don't have to, obviously, get a hotel for 10 days because, like, the way that I'm set up right now is legit. Like, it's nice.
So what's actually your plan after this Saturday, though, since this will be, obviously, after the third round, will be the first time you'll get more than a few days off? Are you going back home and then driving up to Indy, or are you going to go try to stay with some friends closer to Indy?
So I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to say this. But anyway, my plan right now, if Indy happens, which hopefully it does, my plan is to leave Sunday, head up to Oklahoma, probably grab a day or two of riding at Raynard's. So, like, obviously Oklahoma's, like, about 8 hours from me right here. So then ride Monday, Tuesday, and then drive home Wednesday, which is in Kansas, which is 4 hours from Oklahoma, and then drive 8 hours Thursday morning probably to Indy.
Okay.
I have a question.
It's kind of the plan.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know they got a COVID. So, like, when you're in Houston, say, for these 3 rounds, did you got the COVID test, like, whatever, 2 days before the first round, the day before, whatever they're making you do you have to get tested before each round, or did, like, the COVID test from the first round cover the second round, and then you got to get one more before this Saturday, or how are they working that?
You know what's really dumb is how they can't just make it the COVID test for last for an 8-day span instead of 7-day span, because then we wouldn't have to pay the extra $75 to get tested for the last round. The way they do it is we get tested Thursday before the first Saturday race, right? So then your test from Thursday lasts from, or Thursday, Friday, or whatever, lasts for the first 2 rounds, so the Saturday, Tuesday, and then you have to get retested this coming Thursday, which is probably like tomorrow, or I can get tested Friday as well, to be able to race the last day, because they can't just let I guess, I don't know if they got protocols or whatever, if it's obviously it's a money grab for them, I think. But they can't just push it to 7 or the 7-day limit to an 8-day limit. So then we only have to pay for one COVID test.
Awesome.
Fake news.
Is it the one where they shove the big stick up your nose and, like, play with the back of your brain?
Yeah, but I'm going to be really honest. Like, I even had it on my story. Like, the COVID test I got in Salt Lake was gnarly. Like, it made your eyes water. The COVID test that they took here, they just barely put it up in each nostril, wiped it around, and then called it good.
Yeah, they already know your DNA. They're good.
Good God.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh,
Here we
no.
go.
No.
Tom, it's
I
not that
don't
kind of
know how-
podcast.
Wait, what? That's another podcast.
That's a different podcast. It's
Did
not.
I just say something that you guys took the wrong way? What just happened?
No.
No.
Tom is getting off in the weeds here. He's outside the tough blocks. We're outside the tough blocks. We are on the plywood right
we're
now.
not even in the stadium anymore.
Oh,
we're not
God.
in the stadium anymore.
It's not
I mean,
that-
everybody gets curious about it, right?
Tom's trying to take this podcast off the rails here. Look, man, we don't want to get demonetized on YouTube here, okay? Or taken off YouTube. We got to be careful. We got to
Yeah, we
tread.
don't even be on YouTube anymore.
We got to tread carefully.
100%
Okay?
truthfully. I'm banned from about everything right now.
Well, we're not yet, so let's keep it that way, all right? We got to make our $40 this month on YouTube, okay? Let's just calm her down.
So since we're still on the topic of Saturday, Kevin, obviously the goal is to get in the main, but what is the actual goal? I mean, I know that obviously, yesterday didn't go well, but still top 10?
The goal, 100%. Goal this year, every race I go to, is breaking that top 10. That's 100%
Okay.
goal.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I think at this point, seeing the competition we have in our coast and my riding compared to last year, like, I should be a shoe-in for the main every weekend, as long as I keep my ass on 2 wheels.
Well, that's the thing is, like I said, I think, and I don't mean to keep comparing you to these guys, but I think that you, Osby, and Short, I think that there's obviously the factory guys, Oldenburg and Voland are kind of, the last two factory guys inside the top 10, but I think that it's you, Osby, and Short that are pretty much, you guys are above and beyond the best privateers on this coast, and I think that there's no reason why the rest of the year where it's not going to be you three jockeying back and forth to be that top privateer. Just in my opinion.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. And honestly, it makes me excited too, because like I said, after round one, I literally only had 5 days of Supercross riding before then. So it every year it ends up being like this, but I know my potential is so much higher. So it's just being smart, making progress every round, and just racing myself into shape pretty much.
Do you think that that's pretty much the difference right now between you and, like I said, those two guys, is the fact that just because we know that Josh, he's been down at club, and I don't know where John Short, has been. I know he bounces back and forth at Masterpool's place and stuff like that. But do you think that that's the only thing that's separating you from them? Is just the fact that you've had less time on the bike?
I would have to say yes, but at the same time, I don't hold myself at a lower standard than them. I expect myself to be with them, even with the amount of preparation I've had. So obviously more preparation, better for me, but I'm not one to sit here and make excuses. I'm just happy to be able to keep racing.
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. Well, Kev, I think you said you had to jump off here, so thank you, man, for coming on again. We will.
Yeah, no problem.
We will talk to you Saturday after the race,
after that heat race win.
Yeah, after that heat race win.
Absolutely.
We will.
Have to get that Moto Aftermath shout out.
I was gonna say I will get that PayPal info from Justin and Cole to send you your heat race win bonus, since they're paying out the big bucks. I don't think the Moto Aftermath show's budget.
And there's a whole shot bonus too, correct? That's what I heard.
Yeah, the whole shot bonus is coming from me. It's not quite on that level of those two for the heat race bonus there. So.
Oh no! We're matching. We're matching.
Oh no! We're not matching that right now. Okay.
And if Kev gets top 5 in the main, oh buddy.
Oh God! If Kev gives top 5 in the main, then we'll talk some more. Okay. Look, this is a very fluid situation.
Hopefully, if Kevin top 5s in a main, hopefully we're talking to a factory team at that point.
That's true.
I mean, I think.
Well, dude, you just did the first step of a factory rider. You referred to yourself in the third person.
Oh God! All right. Well, thanks, Kev. We appreciate it, man, and good luck Saturday. And then we'll talk to you soon.
Man.
All right, bud.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys.
Yep. Thanks, sir.
Enjoy the ride, my man. Take it easy, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, boys. Kevin Moranz there. Thanks for coming on again. He will be with us.
The star.
Every round this year, at least as long as everything stays good. Knock on wood, we stay healthy all year. So, all right.
Knock on the woodcock.
Hold on 1 second. Can I? And I don't mean. And everybody's gonna. Well, the people that listen to this, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you're just tooting his horn because you sponsor him and this and that." But I mean, all of us have obviously. We've been around the sport for a long time, and we've all met. Whether growing up racing with them, knowing them, whatever. We've all met guys that are fast in the sport. But can we just take a second that it's very rare to find people like Kevin that are so level-headed. They have expectations, but yet they also don't get ahead of themselves, because we all know how people are in the sport, especially privateers. And it's not a knock on them, because they deserve it. They work hard. But the moment they do good, they feel like everything needs to be handed to them. And I've been lucky enough to watch Kevin since he was on the 65s, dating back to the Arena Cross days. But I feel like Kevin is that one kid that I don't think he's ever going to change no matter how much success he has.
No.
Speaking of woodcock, somebody's got to tell you about it. No, it's really cool to see, especially because he's really repping that KTM really well, and getting starts like that. You're really and consistently doing what you need to do. The starts have been so important. If he continues to do that with that Tom Zont motor, it's only a matter of time before he continues to bring it all the way around for the checkered flag.
Oh yeah, no, I think by the end of the season, I think he's gonna have some teams looking at him.
I think so too. He's definitely up to speed from last year. Like you said, he was definitely more of a well, we're probably going to put it in the main, but we're kind of on that.
He was a borderline guy.
Yeah, and now this year, like so far through, at least through the first 2 rounds, like he definitely has the speed, which is amazing because, like I said, for the lack of prep he had for the season, because no one knew when the season was coming, getting bikes was tricky, whole 9 yards with everything we've been dealing with in 2020 and the first part of 2021 here. It's crazy to think that he stepped his speed up somehow through all of that without, throwing down a massive amount of prep. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where it goes. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think he's one of those dudes, like, even if he were to end up on a factory team, I could still hit him up and be like, hey, man, can you come on the show? And he'd be like, yep. So, I can
just name a few dudes in the 450 class right now that haven't made mains in a long time that think they're hot shit. And, yeah.
Name drop them.
Oh, I'm not going to go there.
Hey, he told Steve to suck
Catanzaro?
it. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, we could start there. Anyway.
All right, we're not going down that road.
Yeah, we gotta get through this here because I still got to edit this tonight. So I got a couple more people on my list here in my notes for this race for the 250s. Number 1, Joe Schmoda, solid 5th. He looks good. Anybody
This is who he is.
Anybody want to argue? I mean, dude, he is a solid top 5 guy in my opinion, and he is picking up speed. He's getting starts. And, I mean, dude, they keep confusing him on the qualifying show with Faulkner. Like, they'll start following him around and start talking about Faulkner. I'm like, that's Schmoda, but good try.
I want to point out sophomore year, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know how he got that good or that comfortable on that Kawasaki that quickly because, obviously, like they keep talking about, he was a late insertion there in the pro circuit team. But, man, I've been very, very impressed with the way he rides. I mean, he gets out in front in practice. And like I said, gets good starts, and he runs up front, and yeah, he's taken a step, in my opinion. So,
I just think the bike fits him better than that Honda. He's a taller kid, and I haven't mentioned it. Now he rides a lot taller on that bike. Where I felt like with the Honda, as tall as he felt like he was always in tuck mode, and maybe it doesn't fit his technique. Where now it looks like he's a little more room to move around and stuff, and he doesn't look like the same guy that he did on the Geico bike at all.
There was one thing I noticed about his technique riding. Like, he rides with his, elbows down. He does not ride with his elbows up like what everyone tells you to. I was watching that the other day.
Oh, well, there's a lot of guys that drop those elbows.
I know. I mean, technique is a relevant term as far as moto goes. I mean, look at Osborne's technique, and he won the outdoor title. So, whatever. But
well, Zacho's like 5'2", so.
Hell yeah. Anyway, the other guy that I have on the notes here, the last guy I have to talk about for the 250 class that I think we all are kind of scratching our heads and eating a little bit of crow on is Max Volan, dude.
Nope.
Yep. We are definitely
I've been believing in this young man since the start. I don't know about you guys, but I'll tell you what, the 115 machine is looking really good, and he's another one that's really young like that, especially with having his dad be, having that pedigree, but also having somebody you can work with pretty often. Like, besides being on a factory KTM, you're in good hands. I think that he's going to be continuing to get better and better.
I mean,
I can't comment. I don't want to sound like a dick. I can't comment. I don't want to sound like a dick.
Oh no, you can. Go ahead, man. I do it to Faulkner all the time.
No, I'm
we
good.
can be dicks.
No, I'm good. I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be that guy because I'm going to be the odd man out. Everybody else has this different point of view, and I just...
Bro,
I'm not there yet.
Last show,
Share it, puss.
Last show you told
What?
Mathis to suck your dick,
Puss?
and this show you're going to be quiet about Volan? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I'm turning over I'm turning over a new
He's
leaf.
so rattled. You
That
don't
is
know what to
fake
say.
news. What is wrong with what is wrong in your mind with what Volan's doing right now? I mean, he was 10th the
I
other
don't think
day.
there's anything wrong.
He's
I don't think there's
eight.
anything wrong with what he's doing. And he's 17, and I get it. But like I said, I'm still just. He's got a lot of time. He signed like a 4-year contract. So
3. He's 3.
3. Okay. So I'm not saying that he's not doing great, but I think that I don't know, man. It's hard to say because I think that obviously with the way the factory teams are split up with the way the East Coast went, and we're going to find out, I think that there's going to be a lot more factory dudes on and I do in air quotes, the West Coast. I just don't know if you put everybody in there, I don't know where his speed is, to be honest with you, because even though he's rode great, and like I said, he's only 16 or 17. I don't know if he's 17. I think they keep mixing that up. I feel like he's only 16 because he rode schoolboy as a 15-year-old at Loretta's. So either way, but I don't know where his speed is at because even though he's been good, he's still, the last place factory guy, correct?
Yeah,
Well,
so
remember
you're
that
talking if we throw
yesterday-
Kyle Peters in, if we throw Chase Owen, we throw
March Banks, you get J Mart, you
Banks.
get Thrasher, you get Fry, you get Carson Mumford. So it's not me trying to shit on the kid. I think he has a bright future. We know how talented he is. But it's just, I'm trying not to, how do I put this without sounding like an asshole? I'm trying not to give the kid too much credit too quickly, if that makes any sense.
I mean,
Because I think he's going to be good.
Farm on him.
I think outdoors, he's actually going to surprise a lot of people. I think that if people have these expectations of him, I think outdoors is where he's actually going to shine, which I know is going to sound like an obvious comment because you don't grow up riding Supercross. I mean, a lot of these kids do nowadays, but he didn't. But I don't know where he's going to be when you put every factory dude on the line.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to blow him
Where I'm
here.
coming from is that he's. Go ahead, Travis.
I said I'm not trying to blow him here, but let's face it,
Oh, Jesus.
he is getting the same positions that he was
Pedophile.
getting at Mini O's in
Oh,
November.
my God.
You know, like at Mini O's, we had reason to question how is he actually going to do. Hell, I think in our preseason show when we talked about 250s, we all basically said, yeah, he's going to be a 15th to 22nd place guy no matter what coast he's on. And then he comes out and he goes 10, 8. And I mean, they've showed him on TV. He doesn't look terrible.
Looks sick.
Especially considering how we all thought he was going to look by the way his results and things were going and things we were hearing preseason. So, I mean, he has to be one of the surprises of the year so far in the 250 class for me, of the fact that he is out there consistently putting it. Yes, he's the last factory dude on this coast. I understand that. But at this point, with the way his age, the way he was thrown in, his contract, they're like, go out there, get experience, finish the races. That's it. So if he can go out there, nail down top 10s, finish top 10 in points this year, I mean, I think there is nothing but upside for that and nothing but positive vibes for that going around that team, because, I mean, this could very easily have been a Thomas Covington 2.0 where he's not even making the races, you know, so.
He's in his first week of being a pro too. So literally, he's only been he's had 2 days on the job essentially, right? So he has no fucking, he's no idea, right? You learn a lot in your first year or a couple of years. Think of Alex Martin, it took 5 years to go in a Warthog, and then he was sick, right? Well, he's in a week. He's been in the saddle for a week, so I have to imagine going 10-8 and looking like that, he's going to continue to improve pretty quickly.
Can I ask a question, though, on that? And I know that we're projecting because, obviously, we're still only 2 rounds into the East Coast. But, okay, so he's doing this, and maybe he gets a top 5 by the end of the season and stuff. It's going to be freaking tough. Let's be real. It's going to be tough. But he could. Things fall his way, whatever. He gets a good start. A couple guys crash, whatever. But I guess this is to round out the way I'm thinking on this is, okay, so say he hovers around that 6 to 10, 7 to 10, whatever, 7 to 9 range. What happens if we get to the West Coast, though? And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but say we get to the West Coast, and I know that Travis and Cole are kind of high on this kid, Carson Mumford, and he's not even on a factory team. He's on a team with Honda support, but I don't know about you, Tom. I don't know if you've seen any of his videos, but the kid's actually looking good. Granted, he's had a Supercross track in his backyard for however many years. But Carson Mumford or even Jarrett Fry, what happens if those guys go out and they're top 5 right off the bat? And they're just top 5. They're no 6 to 10, 7 to 9. They're top 5. Are we going to look at this at the end of the season and go, was his season really that good, even though it was his first year, when they're rookies and they're doing better? I guess that's what my mind is thinking is that we're not really going to know how good his season went until we see what the other rookies on the West Coast do. You guys get what I'm saying?
I mean,
but I don't know. I never compare myself to other people like that. So, for me, if I was coming into that stuff, if I was Kevin Moranz, my rookie season is nothing like Austin Forkner, right? So I don't compare myself to that kind of stuff. I kind of look at it more, what do you think you can get? What's your window of game going to be, right? So where you think you're going to start and where you're trying to get from that point, right? So I wouldn't be looking to be a brand new rookie and trying to compare myself to Ryan Vilco's first year. It doesn't gel.
Or Trek and Ard.
I mean,
right. Oh man,
I still feel like, though, comparing those two things is like apples to oranges. Because, I mean, let's face it, Volan, he's literally coming off the schoolboy class, basically, compared to you've got Fry. Was Fry B class or was he A class this year? I can't remember.
Fry didn't even race A class at Loretta's.
Okay. And then you have Mumford, who, like you said, has a Supercross track in his backyard. He's been Geico Honda. He's been, because my understanding
Okay, what about Thrasher? What about Thrasher, though?
Yeah, but my understanding is that, like, Volan hasn't really even been on a Supercross track until this whole deal got started. So if you're, these other kids, Thrasher's training with, who is it? God, I can't remember.
He's training with the Star Team now. Anything the Star Team's doing, he's been doing the Star program. He's on the Swanee's program.
Yeah, so he's riding Supercross all the time. Like the last thing I knew before this whole Red Bull KTM thing came up was they were going over to do like EMX or something. And
well, he already did that. He did EMX 125s at the beginning of 2020, and he got whooped.
Yeah, but from my understanding, they were going to do quite a few of those in 2020, which then obviously turned into a shit show, so it didn't happen. But
yeah,
that was the plan. The plan was not for him to go pro till he was, I think, at least 18 at that point. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like it's going very, very good. I can't compare these other kids to him because his trajectory, from my understanding, the way it was going was so much different than the way all these other kids, it's like, do as good as you can, get a ride as quick as you can, get to Supercross as quick as you can. Volan was not on that trajectory whatsoever. He wasn't raised in a we'll say Deegan fashion of, hey, let's build a small Supercross track and we'll build it up as he gets older so that way he's used to it. It was, we're not touching Supercross for a while, and now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're going to Supercross. The news blew my wig back when they said, oh yeah, so the Red Bull KTM factory 250 dude is going to be Volan.
Travis has got a wig.
Yeah, you guys didn't know?
He's about to get one. I've seen that airline.
I didn't know that he didn't grow up riding like that. I figured just by proxy that he would be, from his dad being sick, that he would be growing up on tracks like that. I would not have guessed that they were holding off. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think he really rode a Supercross track until he was training for Monster Cup on Super Minis or whatever it was. But I don't know. I guess I still can't get out of my mind the fact that with him being the lone KTM factory guy, and Ian Harrison, all those guys can say, oh, we don't have expectation, we don't have expectation. Maybe that's true because he is a 17-year-old rookie. But we all know that at some point, though, there is expectation. Like, you can't just say, oh, there's not, especially when you're the one guy. There was another guy, yes. But eventually, he's going to have to shit or get off the pot. And maybe that's not this year, so he has the learning year. But I guess I'm projecting further into the future. At some point, when did people start looking at going, if he's not producing, that was this a bad idea to not give him the factory ride? Because I think he's gonna have a great career, honestly, because he's still so young and he's talented as hell, and especially having his dad and his Uncle Tyson being there. But
and Roger DeCoster.
Yes, and Roger DeCoster, Ian Harrison, so on and so forth. I'm more on the thought of not giving him a teammate. And I know that people say, well, it's easier said than done to just give somebody a factory teammate. It's true, but they also could have hired a guy like Ty Masterpool as a teammate, so there's not as much pressure on a kid like Max Volan.
I agree with you there.
I really, honestly, don't think they're expecting anything out of him this year. With the way this all came about, because there wasn't any talk about this. Let's face it, this surprised all of us. That he got
But
signed.
I think outdoors there will be, though. I think outdoors there will be pressure, though.
Outdoors there might be more pressure of like, hey, man, let's not be the last factory guy outdoors. But I think for Supercross, man,
that's like 23rd nowadays.
Well, I'm just saying. But for Supercross, man, I think it's literally don't wad it up, don't get hurt, finish the race. Don't be Thomas Covington, qualify for the main. Like, that's it.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to get a guy like Mr. Volan on the show because from my experience, a lot of team managers, I don't know, I can't speak for Ian Harrison or Roger DeCoster or those guys, but from my experience.
Hello?
Oh, no.
Oh, God, we lost Tom.
Cole, you still there? Lost Cole, too. Oh, okay, God.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, I guess it's no time is better than now. We've been at this for almost an hour and 45 minutes. There's no better time than the.
Seriously, where'd Tom go though? He left in a hole.
Maybe his phone died because it's just showing you and Cole on the line now. So.
Yeah, I was finishing up some laundry.
So anyway, okay, yeah. So I guess there's no better time. Like I said, we've been at this for an hour and 45 minutes, and I got to go put this together somehow. So, I guess we'll wrap this up. Any final thoughts from you boys? We're going into round 3.
Who wins Saturday?
Fuck, I don't know.
God, dude, we've been doing this segment for fucking 4 years now. You
Look.
got to have this.
Look, I'm gonna give you 3 names for the 250 class for Saturday. Okay.
Oh wow, okay.
Jet, Faulkner, or Craig. That's my guess. One of those 3 wins the 250s.
Okay, 450s. You're gonna be a little bit more,
We can put all 20.
Comfortable.
We can put all 22 names in a hat and draw one out.
I fucking
and
hate you.
That will
Cole.
be who wins it.
I hate you, Cole.
Colt Nichols and damn it, Nichols and I think Webb gets a start.
Yamaha sweep for the boys. Colt Nichols, Dylan Ferendis.
Ooh,
Wow,
bold.
Not really. Well, I mean, more people would say the bold is Colt Nichols, but Colt Nichols, Ferendis, Star becomes the first team to go win a main in both classes since, probably KTM did with Dungy and Marv.
I'm telling you, dude, Ferrandis can't get a start, just like his 250 days. So
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. He came from 10th to 2nd, so all he's got to do is start in the top 7, and I think he wins.
Well, maybe.
well, we'll see.
All right.
So, yep, Star does the sweep.
Okay. Well, like I said, bold move, Cotton. I just hope we get 3 different people on the box for 450s. That'd be awesome. 9 people in 3
Well,
rounds.
we know Zach Osborne, Chase Sexton, and Adam Cincerello won't be on the box, so there's that.
I would not say that about Zach, but okay.
Well, it's happened already.
Okay. Well, anyway. All right. So this has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings and Premier Custom Trailers. Make sure to check them out. Make sure to follow us on all the major social media networks. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below how you like the new format. If you like it, if you don't like it, whatever. We will be back with a fantasy show probably tomorrow or the day after, which boys will have to figure that out for recording because obviously those are probably going to come out. What's tomorrow? Thursday. So they're probably going to come out tomorrow. So we probably, I guess, need to record tomorrow for that. And then we will be back next Monday in studio, wrapping up Houston round 3 and moving forward into Indy. Thanks to Tom Cooper for coming on. Thanks to you guys for coming on. Thanks to Kev for coming on again. And we will see everyone after round 3 here on Monday. Later, boys.
Deuces.
Later.